So this is Tesla's quarterly vehicle deliveries of computers on wheels, extremely successful company. I know everyone talks about how Tesla used to be failing. I think that's kind of ironic given the fact they've hit record sales every single year, compounding their vehicle deliveries at an enormous rate. As you can see, 2019, they just set a record of 367,000 cars delivered. They just projected to do 500,000 in 2020, so this chart's going to keep going up and to the right, but I think this is only just getting started. Everyone can hear me okay? I just want to make sure. Okay. So now we're going to talk about market share. Tesla has dominated the electric vehicle market. Originally, when I was following Tesla, 2012, 2013, the theory was every other big auto company is going to crush Tesla. Tesla has no experience building cars. Every other car company is going to come out with a competing electric vehicle that will outsell them with better technology. Well, what has happened since then? Nobody has been able to compete. These are 2019 US electric vehicle sales. The Model 3 is sold 159,000 cars, and I'm using North America. I wish I had global data, but the US is Tesla's home market. So I think it's really important to look at just the US. This is where they're focused. I'm going to kind of extrapolate that that's what the market share will do in other regions once they launch there. And so, and you also notice the number 2 and 4 best-selling cars are also Teslas. And so despite the fact that every other auto company with decades more of experience that everyone thought was going to come in and crush Tesla, they have not been able to do it. What I think is even more interesting is this is actually not a fair chart because the Teslas are selling for $80,000, $40,000, $50,000. All these other cars are selling for $30,000. So when you factor that in on a revenue-adjusted basis, the difference becomes even larger. Now, this is a chart of the US market share. They have 80% of the market share. Everyone else, with 3 models, everyone else combined, I think it's like 7 or 8 different auto companies, 15 models, 21% of the market. And once again, this is not adjusted for revenue. If this was adjusted for revenue, Tesla would have about 90% of the electric vehicle market. And so I think we can all agree that electric vehicles are the future. This is where the world's headed, and I think a sneak preview of who's going to dominate that is if you look at the market share of electric vehicles today, and it's very clear, I think, who's ahead. Now let's talk about what's next for Tesla. I hope I still have some time. I'm trying to get to questions too. What is next for this company? 90 million cars sold in the world every single year. 2% of those are electric vehicles. A bunch of them are Teslas. They're dominating that market share, but this is what we have to tackle. 98% of the world is still buying new cars that are burning fossil fuels. I think this is ridiculous, but this is what's all about to change. So this is the opportunity. These are Tesla's annual vehicle deliveries today. And this is what they have announced that's coming in the future that's poised to grow these. The Model Y, a crossover utility vehicle that's the biggest segment of the auto market. Tesla semi-truck, they're not going to be moving around just people. They want to move around stuff too. This is the inside of the semi-truck. I just thought this was really cool, so I wanted to put that in there. This is the Cybertruck. I'm sure we all know about that. Yeah. People love the Cybertruck. And this is what I think Tesla's vehicle deliveries will be until 2025, based on those new cars they announced. So I did this, and I was working on that slide, and I was like, actually, though, I don't think Tesla's best-selling vehicle is one they've announced yet. I think Tesla's best-selling vehicle is their next generation of technology. This is something that Elon Musk has hinted about. The whole point is to get the world off fossil fuels, build a cheaper car. So recently they talked about the Gigafactory 3 in Shanghai, and they said we want to have a competition to design a car in China from scratch. They released this picture. Is this the Model 2? Is this the $25,000, $20,000 car that Elon Musk has been hinting about that could really drive mainstream adoption of electric vehicles, outsell all of their vehicles? I think yes. And I think this is what has been this is what Tesla's research and the company has been culminating in, is this technology. So when I factored that into my estimates for the next decade, I realized that I think Tesla's best-selling car at the end of the decade is one that doesn't exist yet, that they haven't announced, and that's the Model 2. And this is what I think they can do over the next 10 years till 2030, sell about 6 million vehicles a year in the year 2030. And if you remember my slide, there's 90 million cars sold a year. So we're still talking about Tesla getting 7 to 8% market share globally. If you think this is going to be the Apple of the auto world, Apple has about 10% of the smartphone market. I think this is a similar sort of playbook for Tesla to follow, and that would be 6 million cars a year. That translates into revenue of $246 billion by the year 2030. That's over a 10x over the next 11 years.